Om. 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 Om Sahanam Bhavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Okay. So we come back to chapter 4. So if you want us to go through verse number 6 one more time before going on to 7. Let me quickly run through verse 6 and then go to 7. The three orders of reality. Ajopi sannavyayatma bhutanamishvaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Even though being one who is unborn, one whose knowledge does not wane, and also being the Lord of all living beings, still wielding my own Prakriti, I as though come into being by my own creative power. We see from this verse that Krishna's birth is a very peculiar birth indeed. Being one who is never born, he as though comes into being. Also, Krishna describes himself here as one whose power to know does not wane or decline, as Avyayatma, meaning one for whom there is no state of ignorance or delusion. We can also say that being one who is never born, he is not subject to death either. Furthermore, he is the Lord of all beings, the one who made the entire creation for the enjoyment of all, and the one who introduced and wields all the laws and who is therefore not bound by them. He is also the karma phala data, the giver of the fruits of all actions. Ishvara is the cause for the entire creation, both the subtle world, Sukshma Prapancha, and the physical world, Sthula Prapancha. Maya, Prakriti, which is non-separate from Ishvara, becomes the material cause for this creation. And wielding this Maya, his Shakti, he as though comes into being in the form of this creation. Since Krishna as Ishvara is on one side of Maya and Arjuna was on the other side, Arjuna could not see him as he was. This is like a magician who always keeps the audience in front so that they only see the magic, not the Maya, the trick. And of course, the magician never comes under the spell of his or her own magic. Otherwise, there would be no magician. Because you, a jiva, are within Maya itself, you do not wield it, whereas Ishvara does. Therefore, the difference between the jiva and Ishvara is based solely on which side of Maya they are on. Krishna wields the Maya because of which the entire world and its beings exist. And being deluded by this Maya, being under its spell, the spell of ignorance, people do not see the Atma, that is Krishna, Ishvara. While the Jiva does not see the Paramatma, Ishvara has no such problem because he has the Maya under his control. Therefore, the world itself, which is born of Maya, is under his control. The idea being conveyed here is that the Jiva does not know his real nature, Swarupa. This not knowing one's Swarupa is called avidya, ignorance. Whereas, as Ishvara, Krishna can say, as he did here, keeping my Maya under my control, I become one who as though has a body. This is the definition of an avatara. When it is said that an avatara is one who comes down, what is meant is that he assumes a body. He as though has a body, as though because he is not lost in the body. In other words, he does not take himself to be the body. A Jivan Mukta, one who is liberated, can also say, I as though have a body, because this person knows the real nature of I, the Atma. To be able to say this requires knowledge, and to acquire this knowledge, one has to be living. This is why the person who has such knowledge is called Jivan Mukta. Living, he is liberated. And before this knowledge takes place, the Jiva comes into this world as a result of the past karma alone. By the force of karma, meaning one's past actions and their results, a physical body, along with a mind and senses, is created with a parentage and a time and place. And we say the person is born. Such a person is called Jiva. Only by acquiring the knowledge that he or she is Param Brahma can the Jiva be free of the cycle of birth and death and all that goes with it. Knowing thus, the person is free. But the body continues to exist because it is the creation of Ishvara, Ishvara Srishti. Omniscience does not require a mind. Thus, Krishna tells Arjuna here that as Ishvara, he keeps the Maya under his control. His powers, the Jnana Shakti, power to know, Kriya Shakti, the power to do, and the Ichcha Shakti, the power to desire, are all under his control and are not limited in any way. Since his power to know is without limitation, he does not require an antakarana, a mind to know. Without the mind, he has all knowledge. All knowledge, omniscience, cannot depend upon a given mind because any mind will have some limitation. Furthermore, the mind itself is a creation. And before creating it, the Lord must have knowledge. Therefore, no mind is required by Ishvara. The very Maya itself makes him omniscient. He is called Parameshvara. And this Parameshvara alone becomes the world. This is the Maya, the trick of it all.
So you talked about Ishvara now, right? He has all the powers,
Yeah,
absolute measure. So he doesn't have to have the mind, no limitation for him, not required.
see, it is our experience that we feel limited, right?
Mm.
That is why we go through all whatever
Mm-hmm.
we seek.
The Maya itself make him
Yeah,
omniscient because he has done it all of it with his powers, right? That's what
right.
omniscient means. He is present everywhere. Is that
Omniscience is all
omniscience?
knowledge,
All knowledge, right? Omniscience, yeah.
all
Mm.
knowing, all
All know,
knowing
all
is
knowing. Okay.
omniscience.
Okay, okay, got it. So this is the
He is the
Maya,
magician.
the trick of it all.
Yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
he is the one who's
Mm.
Maya is the trick. He is the magician.
Mm.
And what we are seeing is all the magic that is created.
Right.
A
Like
Jivan,
that, it comes to my mind when it's magic in the Mahabharata, how they build that
Lak,
Indraprastham, that palace. What is
yeah,
that called? Maya. It's itself Maya palace only. I forgot the name.
Lakshagri. Laksha, Maya Sabha it is called.
Ah, Maya Sabha, right? Maya Sabha. Yeah, right, exactly. So everything like illusion,
Yeah.
right? It's so, oh my God. That's how we are.
Funny part is as we are talking, this is also part of this Maya.
Maya only.
No?
Right. So we have to come out of this body, mind, everything and let it go. And yesterday when we read the Tattvabodh also, it's nice and fresh in mind that we can
Yeah.
connect better. Yeah.
See, because the mind is ultimately a creation of the
Five, yeah. Yeah.
five
Um,
Mahabhutas, all the Satvikamshat,
Sartikamsha.
all of those. Samisti Satvikamshat is the mind. Mind,
Mm,
Antkarana, and Chitta, Hankara.
yeah. Samishti is it, right? Samishti.
Mm, mm. So therefore, Ishvara is without a mind. He is all knowing. All knowledge does not require a mind. It is then you're limiting it to a mind. He is
Mm-hmm.
that Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam in absolute measure.
Measure.
So he is existence, truth, knowledge, and bliss. Now we're saying he. Does he becomes, like there is another. The truth
Yeah,
is there
the
is no
dual
difference
mind.
between he
Yeah.
and you, he and me.
Mm-hmm.
That is the whole journey is for us to bridge this gap.
Ishvara, our body is the reflection of uh, Ishvara,
Mm,
the sense Brahma, right? So we have to say that. Um, I mean, we can say that we need that body because of that it it holds the Atma, and for us to get this knowledge, I think it becomes a vehicle for us to uh, this mind, body, and everything
yeah.
else. So we have to use it to do that. That's become the purpose of our life.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, Gurudev told no Dasharatha and Kaushalya when that Ratha is handled with Kaushala,
mm,
then Lord Rama is born.
mm. Very beautiful. the implied meaning of Ramayana, right? Of Dasharatha, there is all the five senses and five organs of action.
Mm.
Yeah,
And then what did he say, Kausala?
Kaushalya, she's a mother of Lord Rama, no? And
Right.
when you handle when you handle that
Skillful.
ratha with kushalta, that kaushalyam, what is real, what is unreal, which is known.
Oh,
And when you
Kaushalam, discretion. Okay, okay. I got. I thought that's what you said, Kaushalam. But then when he said Kausalya, I kind of thought it was different. Okay. That's a meaning, discretion.
yeah,
Got
this Ramanavami Gurudev told.
Mm.
So, an understanding of Avatara. In order to understand the Vedic and Puranic literature, one needs to have some understanding of the concept of Avatara. In the Bhagavata, Ramayana, and the Mahabharata, Rama, Krishna, and certain others are presented as avatars. Avatara means God incarnate. Because of its significance here, this concept will be analyzed briefly in terms of orders of reality. So, basis of the orders of reality, it is being described. Now, in general, we can divide the orders of reality into three. One is the absolute reality, Paramarthika, that which is Satya Jnana Ananta Brahma, free from all attributes and upon which the entire world depends. Then there is the empirical reality, Vyavaharika, which accounts for the world and all that is in it: space, air, fire, water, earth, the sun, moon, and stars, the natural laws, and so on. Included in this order of reality are the various situations that cause joy and sorrow, as well as your physical body, mind, and senses. All means and ends, sadhana and sadhya, also have an empirical reality, some of which are already known to you and others are revealed by the Veda. There are certain Vedic rituals, for example, that are prescribed for having a child or for going to heaven. The heaven mentioned by the Shastra is considered to be as empirically real as a material object here in this world. Thirdly, there is a purely subjective order of reality, pratibhasika, such as that we experience in a dream. My dream is different from your dream, right? Dreams are subjective. And if we extrapolate this into the waking state, all the stories that we build up in our head become pratibhasika,
Mm.
empirical reality. A pot, for instance, is not something that you imagine. It actually holds water. But it cannot be considered to be independently real, absolutely real, because it is dependent on something else for its existence, the material out of which it is made. Therefore, you cannot say it is Paramarthika Satya, nor can you dismiss it as non existent because it holds water. If you say the pot is absolutely real or that it is absolutely non existent, your very statement does not hold water. Only an existent pot can hold water. A non existent pot cannot. Like, for instance, a dream pot in our dream cannot really hold water. Whereas in the empirical reality, there is a difference between a pot and a spoon or a pot and a lid, right? It is only a pot can hold water. The existent pot is something that has a history. It was born at a given time and has lived in various homes. It has
Jai
gone through,
Gurudev,
yeah,
here I I used to feel that, the example of Mrugajal, what we call. In the
the
desert, we see the water, what is it called?
mirage,
Mirage.
right?
Doesn't fit the empirical world because it is not there.
Correct,
But the pot and the water fits very well for the empirical world.
correct.
Normally, we keep giving that example, and
Huh,
all the time I used to feel that this example doesn't fit, for the empirical world.
right.
Yeah, Jay, sorry to
Which, no, which
interrupt.
example does not fit
Mirage one. We
the
see no,
mirage?
for the Maya that
Ah,
doesn't fit very well because Mirage really there is no water. We just feel that it is a water, but
correct.
here the pot and the water are actually there in the empirical world. May not be in the parimarthic, not sorry, the other one, the dream world, the third one,
Yeah, they give that example usually for that Avarna and
Maya.
Vikshepa. Yeah,
For the
mean
Maya.
we are mistaking Atma for the I mean, with ignorance, right? Like, yeah, Maya, of course, everything is Maya.
So as though it's not as though it is the reality of the
Yeah,
Maya.
there's no water. Yes.
But there is
Yeah,
no water. Here,
right.
the mud,
Mm.
the pot and the water, because it holds the water, it is actually there for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
That's what I used to feel. How can, because we are
Mm.
all experiencing it,
Mm.
in the mirage, there is really no water. It's just the illusion.
Illusion, yeah.
Yeah.
But but
Because of
having
the
said that,
heat. Mm.
yeah, correct. What you're saying is right.
Mm.
The pot has some reality. That is why it's called empirical reality. But when you analyze it, does it actually have? It is dependent. Sorry, I think there is. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
So when you analyze the pot, is the pot independently existent? When you go on analyzing how is
No,
the,
it doesn't. Mm.
it is dependent on the mud,
Mud.
right? So there is no pot without the mud. So the
Yes,
pot does
same with
not have.
water also. I mean, when
Hmm,
we are talking about Maya,
hmm,
everything depends on the something, uh, right? But
so-
the example I used to, I mean, I would never get that. Like, how come as though it is there, but it's not there actually. But here, when we say everything in Maya is dependent and it's perishable, that which doesn't have, it depends on something and it perishes. This definition fits very well for the Maya, I feel. But the mirage example, somehow, I used to feel it's not the right example. I used to feel that.
no. See, we
Yeah.
are very fortunate. No, I'll tell you, we are very fortunate that we have examples like the rope on the snake or the snake on the rope, mirage, because within this empirical reality, we have another layer of empirical reality, subjective reality. See, the rope on the snake, the snake on the rope, and the mirage on the road. They are what? They are subjective reality. The person who is sorry, what to say, is not
Who
at
is seeing, yeah, he's
at a distance from the mirage, is only able to see the mirage. The person very close to that, you know,
don't see it.
it doesn't see it. So it is
Yeah.
pratibhasika. So
Mm.
within this order of empirical reality, this as though existent world, right? we have another order of empirical. We should not be calling it empirical. That's subjective reality. Pratibhasika.
Yes.
Using
These
those examples.
examples would fit to distinguish between the truth and the untruth. Like, just to give an example, but actually speaking, those are not the examples of empirical world, because it is not as though, right? It is the reality of the Maya. So we see it, we feel it, but not the mirage. And it's a mistaken, what you call, when we say about the rope and the snake, it's our misunderstanding about the thing, like what is the truth and the untruth or the unreal. That
Correct.
understanding, we can think, we can give that example for understanding the truth and the unreal world. But Maya example, it doesn't fit, I feel. Sorry, because I couldn't get it, because as though it is, no, it is there for me or anybody,
Correct. It is
like it
there
holds.
for
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Now, with respect to a person, we'll take the example of the mirage. So once you know once you get the knowledge that it is only a mirage, it is not water, you have the knowledge that it is as though water. Now, for a Jivan Mukta, so with respect to a person who still thinks that there is water, that person will say, what? How can you say there is no water? I can see the water. For me, water is real, right? So that is on one level. Now, when you come to this own body, this physical body, mind, and all the whole existence, with respect to a Jivan Mukta will say all this is only an illusion. For him, this whole Jagat world is like a mirage. But we are still covered by this layer of ignorance. So for us, it seems real, and we'll go on arguing. We'll say, how can you say it is not real? For me, I can feel my body. I can feel, I can go through the pain in my mind. I can go through joy and sorrow. How can you say this is not real? But with respect to the Jivan Mukta, with respect to a Jnani, from the Jnani's perspective, because he has knowledge, he is beyond, he is overcome that Maya. For him, he knows what is real, what is not real. So from the Jnani's perspective, we are still, caught up, entangled in this Maya. I don't know whether this makes sense to you, but
Yes, definitely.
isn't it? So because we are so, that is the whole point of Jiva and Ishvara, no? The only thing is the Jiva is still is bound by that avidya. Avidya, kama, and karma. These three primary knots. So the only way out is to get out of this. Mature more and more in the mind, and with knowledge, get this out. With the sword of knowledge, we'll have to cut this primary knot. Isn't it? So yeah, it's a matter of wonder, the whole thing. That is what it is difficult to logically understand. That is why we need the Shastra. And the Shastra whole Tattva Bodh, see, when that is the whole reason why we read the Tattva Bodh again, to understand how this creation happens. So it was Brahmashraya Sattva Rajastamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. So the concept of Maya was brought in. Now, are we going to question what is Maya? We will never ever get the answer, because that is what Maya is. So rather than pursue what Maya is, you go through what the Shastra says, and you tease out what is real, what is not real, Atma, Anatma. So once you pursue and do the contemplation there, then like that, how that the rice paddy in Atma Bodh we learned, how layer by layer you remove all that ignorance. What remains is just the rice. And like Ramana Maharshi also says, you question, who am I? Who am I? And then slowly that small I drops and the Nijam Aham Udeti. It's not like the Aham Uday, it doesn't mean that the I rises. It is always there. But the false identification drops. The false identification that we have with the body, mind, right? We think, oh, this is real, this is it. But the very Shastra is saying, Satya is what Kalatrayepi tishtati iti sat. So is your body existent in the dream state? You do not even know where you're sleeping. Similarly, in the deep sleep state, where is the mind? Where is the dream in the deep sleep state? So all this cannot be real. So using the neti neti vada, you say, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Then what remains is that truth. So coming back to the pot and the water, there have been physicists. There was this physicist, I think Dr. Dur or someone, in fact, Gurudev said, when he met Gurudev, he said, Gurudev, I've been working on matter all my life only to realize that it does not exist. So this is coming from a scientist. And this is what also, I think in when was that? I don't remember the year. It's just few years ago. A team of 3 scientists have proved, and they were given the Nobel Peace Prize for them. They proved that the world is unreal. So what are they proving? What Vedanta has told us several thousands of years ago, now science is proving it. Right? So this is proof enough that what we're doing, following the Shastra, going to a guru, and getting this knowledge and doing this Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is the right way out. Isn't it?
Yes, and that
Yes.
very beautiful picture arises that on one side the man is hanging on the very broken branch of a tree, and then under him there is a crocodile waiting to eat him. On the other side, I mean, that is how is the samsara. You God and this he is the only rescue that until that realization
The
comes,
honey as well
we
as
continue that futile run, the way in desert the man runs after the water.
Mm. And Upanishad, Gurudev also gave this beautiful example on the 2 birds. One bird is eating the fruit, and the other bird is watching this bird eat. I think I posted it also in our Manana group. It is really funny, actually. Yesterday, I was thinking about this 2 birds, and I was wanting to unearth the. I didn't remember the actual example of these 2 birds, and I was thinking, oh, I'll have to check that out once. And then, lo and behold, I find this Instagram reel on Gurudev's knowledge, and he was talking exactly about these 2 birds. I was just smiling to myself, you know. So anyway, the bird that is watching the bird eating the fruit is the witness. And the bird that is eating the fruit is the one that has the enjoyer, doer, enjoyer, karta and bhokta. So he says, when you are so entangled in the world, you are killing the witness bird. The bird that is a witness is killed. But both are required. In this world, you cannot say, I will not do anything. You have to do. And that is only, that's what even Krishna says. When he says, karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Right? Don't be attached to inaction. Ma phala Ma karma phala heturbuhu mate sangostva akarmani. So don't be inactive. Don't say, oh, everything is happening. I don't need to do anything. So you have to do, but realize that there is the witness, and that is the bird that is watching is. So keep it alive. That witness you have to keep alive. And that is what we get and gain when we meditate. We are more and more in the witness, and then less and less in the doership. So the doership is not that non-doership is a happening. The more and more you are dwelling in the witness consciousness, the less you are attached to the doer and therefore the enjoyer. It's well worth to. Let's read that.
Which is enjoying the food.
Are you able to hear this?
The bird which is only witnessing. And
Yes.
many kill the witnessing bird and they only look at the bird which is enjoying. Both are getting into darkness. Got it? Your hearing is a dimension, taste is a dimension. Anyway, everything is going inside. You can't pump in sound through the mouth and put food through your ears. In the material world, whatever need to be done, you do it. Don't say I'm not the doer, this and that. Forget about the doers. It is a realization that comes that I'm not doing, everything is happening. When you do take up something big and when you're putting your 100%, suddenly you realize it's all happening, I'm not done. That gives you lightness. But I want to get rid of doership, so I'm not going to eat. This is stupidity. In the dream, everything is a dream. Yeah, but in the dream also you do things. Don't you do things in the dream? Like that, if you consider this whole thing is a dream, never mind the dream, whatever need to be done, we'll do all that in the dream only. Don't want to do anything. This is the confusion you get into your mind. Be spontaneous. You sow a seed and then you put water, then the tree grows by itself. If you don't sow the seed at all, everything will happen by itself. It won't happen. So that's why I said Purusharth. You have to do your Purusharth. Now, then why did you ask the question? You should have said, oh, why did the question? Answer will come by itself. Why do you have to do even sadhana? Sadhana will happen by itself. No. To do anything, that means you have to do. And doing everything only you can realize that there is something in you that is not doing at all. Beautifully, this has been described in the Upanishad. On the tree, there were two birds. One bird was just witnessing, the other bird was enjoying the fruit. Don't kill any one of the bird. You are trying to kill the bird which is enjoying the food, and the bird which is only witnessing. And many kill the witnessing bird and they only look at the bird which is enjoying. Both are getting into darkness. Got it? Yes, your hearing is a dimension, taste is a
Yeah, thank you. That
Was it clear? I didn't know. I just put
yeah,
the
it was very clear, Dr.
clear.
Brahmara, and yeah,
Yeah.
we could hear the Gurdev's voice. I know
Hmm.
I never could open the Instagram because I don't have that app. I should
Mm,
put in there, but it's a nice example.
yeah.
We can, as a human being, when you see the form and when you say two birds, obviously you think it's a two bird physically, right? It's actually one and the same.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, the witness consciousness is that you have to constantly you have to remember.
So coming back here, therefore you cannot, a pot, for instance, is not something that you imagine. It actually holds water, but it cannot be considered to be independently real, absolutely real, because it is dependent on something else for its existence, the material out of which it is made. Therefore, you cannot say it is Paramarthika Satya, nor can you dismiss it as non existent because it holds water. If you say the pot is absolutely real or that it is absolutely non existent, your very statement does not hold water. Only an existent pot can hold water, a non existent pot cannot. So the pot had a birth, no? It's not like the pot was always there. Before the pot came into being, it was a mound of mud. So anything that has birth will have death. So the pot can get destroyed. So that means it is not Satya by definition. Satya is what? Kalatrayepi tishtati iti sat. Therefore, pot is not real. But it is not, is it totally non existent? No. So therefore, it has that order of reality. That is why they brought in the concept of mithya. Mithya is as though existent. And as long as it is there, that is why China also said, you cannot say, oh, everything is mithya. I am not this, I am not that. So then, if you're given a plate and dosa, you should not find a difference between the two. But in the empirical world, in the Vyavaharika Satya, there is a difference between the plate and the dosa. You eat the dosa, not the plate. But realizing, that's what even Gurudev said, realize that this is also a dream. And that will happen the more and more you are in the witness and you experience that everything is just happening. The existent pot is something that has a history. It was born at a given time and has lived in various homes. It has gone through a certain process of growth and old age, holes and repair work. It has seen ages and has passed through many hands. Now, having had its day, it is parked in some corner somewhere, an old useless pot. Thus, the pot definitely enjoys a certain reality, because of which we accept it as something that has a name and form, nama rupa, and behaves within certain laws. This reality is what is meant by empirical reality, vyavaharika satya. And for understanding the empirical reality, we have sense perception and other pramanas such as inference and presumption. So, bottom line is what? Everything that has nama rupa is empirical, is vyavaharika satya. When the Veda talks about ends like heaven and the means for attaining them, it is talking only about empirical reality. If heaven is a place, it is something within the creation and therefore is included in this order of reality. The various rituals enjoined by Veda imply a doer, karta, who must perform certain karmas in order to achieve the desired ends. Since the means and end are interconnected, the means also have an empiricality, whether they involve worldly action, laukika karma, or scriptural injunction, vaidika karma. Because means and ends are all dependent upon something else, they are not absolutely real. Therefore, they are not paramarthika but vyavaharika, being totally within the empirical sphere. So, sadhana and sadhya, they're all empirical, right? They're all dependent upon something. The word empirical is the closest English translation there is for vyavaharika, which covers everything known and unknown within the sphere of the creation that is not created by a given mind. It includes everything that is understood at a given time. It also includes all that is not understood now, but that may be understood later. This kind of world and the mind itself, the mind stuff, brain cells, and so on, all belong to the empirical world. The physical body and its organs, the senses and their constituents, the capacity to remember, to love, to think, and to know are all vyavaharika, meaning that they have an empirical reality. So, from the gross to the subtle, everything is empirical, vyavaharika, including space. Because what is space? Space is what is the first thing that is born out of this Maya. Tataha akasha sambhutaha. Then akashad vayu. And from these five elements, everything else is created. So everything that is seen, unseen. Subjective reality. The third order of reality is purely subjective and is called pratibhasika in Sanskrit. The dream is an example of this order of reality. Something exists because you see it. Any mistaken notion, unknown fears, and all forms of projections are also pratibhasika. When, for instance, you take a post for a man, sthanau purusha darshana, or imagine that someone does not like you. See, here that mirage is coming in, right? You take a post for a man, or a ghost for a post, or snake for a rope, or the mirage on the road, all of that. It is a projection,
Yes,
purely
that is
subjective.
what I meant, Brahmaraji. This is
Yeah,
subjective reality. This is an
correct,
illusion because the
correct,
mirage does not have any material. What is it
correct,
made of? Nothing.
correct,
This is what I meant.
correct.
These, yeah, sorry.
No, no, correct. What you said is very right. So the mirage does not have any substance, but it is only a projection. Similarly, even this whole world is actually a projection. We will not realize it unless we realize it. That is what
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole,
yeah. Mm.
isn't it? Till we
Yes.
realize that this Jagat is mithya, Jagat is like a mirage, we will be, it is real. And that is what
Mm,
even Gurudev says. He says, the bird that is eating, don't kill that bird.
mm.
It is, you will realize it by and by
Mm.
that there is this witness. We cannot kill the witness bird. Then you are in darkness, you're in ignorance.
Yeah. You know that wide screen, the movie screen
Hmm.
example also is similar, right? Like it's
Yeah,
like projection
correct.
that everybody come and go and all the 3 hours of
Of
fun.
course.
But then once it's done, that's just a screen.
Yeah.
Similar to that, this you said, well, this mithya. I mean,
Yeah.
and as you said, yeah, we have to realize. Until we realize, it's all going to be the
See,
confusion.
did we know that there are these three orders of reality? Did we know Satya, Mithya? several years ago?
No.
No. For us, then, at that point, we were only so involved in the world. For us, everything was, we
Like
didn't even
2D.
know
Yeah.
distinction
Whatever you see
was
is real.
abstract.
Yeah.
How did we get this little knowledge also that there is something real, there's something unreal? Because because of that Guru Krupa, because of whatever Adrishta Phala that we have done, we were
Mm.
we got in touch with a guru, this knowledge, and then so little by little there is some knowledge dawning. But if you look at yourself several years, look at myself several years ago, I did
Yeah.
not even know this existed, right?
No. Even
So
we read it, but now we are kind of diving deep
understand
into this
better.
rather than, yeah.
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 So that clarity is little by little. So what is happening is that witness bird is slowly kind of it's giving life to that witness bird.
Right.
The enjoying bird is still there. We're still living in this world and we have to continue to live
Yeah. Vakthatva and kartatva. Mm.
both. Yeah.
Mm.
So the
Yeah.
more and more we are with this, the witness bird will get more and more. And that is what a Jivan Mukta is, no?
Mm-hmm.
Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan. He is doing everything, but he is as though not doing. He is
Yeah.
there only in that witness space.
Mm.
That's a jnani. And our whole Purushartha is to blossom in that witness
Mm.
space. Then we are freed from that Sanchita karma.
Mm-hmm.
No more. It'll burn out like a burnt seed,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Prarabdha, of course, we have to go through because we have taken that birth with that lump of prarabdha. So till
Mm.
the end, we'll have to continue.
Mm-hmm.
That is why Ramana Maharshi, they also went through, we can question, oh, if they're jnanis, how come they went through that suffering? They did not suffer. Who said they suffered? They
Yeah.
wanted to go through that because of the prarabdha karma.
Prarabdha. Mm.
So projections are pratibhasika. What you see is not there, but still you see it. The very seeing gives your projection a certain reality, isn't it? Everyone projects, everyone commits mistakes. Pratibhasika reality is possible because the mind is limited. It is not omniscient. For a Jivan Mukta, the mind is, there's no mind. He's omniscient. He knows everything.
Yes, omniscient. Yeah.
So there
There
is
is
not a big
one line we read yesterday about how you go from the limited that consciousness to the 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 whole consciousness. What is that called? I know it's
uh-huh.
a full awareness, and I mean you see everything. You see yourself, and then self in everything else, right?
Mm, mm,
So when it becomes, then all you see is only the consciousness.
mm,
Not even seeing it, you're realizing it. It's just
mm.
that I wonder how it would be if we get to that stage. Very elated, right?
No, see, the more and more we use all the 5 knowledge points in the happiness course,
Mm.
the more and more what are we working at? We're working at decreasing our pratibhasika.
Pratibhasika.
You're not seeing an intention behind the other's mistake. What are you doing? You're reducing your projection.
Mm.
Otherwise, the more you're firm and you say, oh, this person did it intentionally, you're
Mm.
giving life to your pratibhasika.
Mm. Subjective reality, right?
Subjective reality, isn't it? So, but
Mm-hmm.
then you let go, you say, no, I will not
Mm.
see an intention. A
Mm-hmm.
mistake is a mistake, it just happened.
Right.
It's neither his nor mine.
Mm.
And you move on. That pratibhasika, the hold that pratibhasika has on your mind is
Mm.
loosening.
Yeah, very
So,
nice. We have to get rid of the subjective reality.
We just have to be aware of it. And then, loosen up
Yeah.
its hold.
Yeah.
So we stop here. We'll continue. We're on this verse, but it's worth it. It's really worth it. I mean, it's not about
No, the
finishing.
more we read this, we
Yeah,
getting every line, becomes
correct.
so you understand clearly.
So we'll do subjective reality tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like we are reading it again and again, but then I think it's really important for us to know this three
Yeah.
order of reality. Yeah.
Mm.
And then how we going to apply this to our lives
We
and
need to apply. That's it.
yeah,
Not just have it in our understanding,
yeah,
but put it into application.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you.